Hey guys, welcome to Hari's Academy. Today we are going to learn how to launch a Windows EC2 machine. Till now we have launched about Ubuntu machine, right? So let us learn how to create a Windows EC2 machine using AWS, right? Let me go to EC2 dashboard. Here I can see the running instances are 0. I am going to use instances and then try to launch instance, right? I will search for Windows here and then select an AMI which is meant for Windows by Amazon, right? Let me select this, and if you see the same T2 Micro, I'm going to select as an instance type and I'll click on configure instance details. Now I'll keep all those options as it is intact and I'll go to add storage. If you remember earlier, the root storage for Ubuntu was 8 GB here, right? And I have also discussed in the previous lecture that for Ubuntu it won't take much of software, so that is the reason. So for the OS it won't take much space, that is why it is 8 GB, but for Windows it is a huge software, so it will be OS it will be 30 GB. So minimum 30 GB is what they have, and I can add volumes up to 2 terabytes. I cannot add more than that. You can see there is a limit of 2 terabytes, right? So for now I am not going to add any EBS volume. For now I am going to use the same options here, the root with 30 GB, and I am also selecting this tag which is delete on termination. When I terminate this particular EC2 machine, the entire root storage also will be lost, right? The hard disk space will be lost. EBS is nothing but a hard disk, nothing more than that, okay? So let me add tags to it now. I'll add a tag called its name, my Windows machine, and I'll click on next, configure security group. So as you remember earlier, for connecting to Windows machine, we need to have a protocol called as RDP, which is remote desktop protocol, and also we need to have a port number called 3389. Right, if you see the 3389 is already seen here and it is already selecting RDP. I can use this one, or I can also select an RDP which I have already created it. It will also have the same details, but let me select the one which I have already created it. When I click on this RDP, I can see there are two different options here. One is for IPv4 address and one is for IPv6 address. I am allowing both. So it is open to all now. Let me go to review and launch. Here I'll see all the options, whether all the options are properly written or not. If I have to change, if I'm not comfortable with any of the option, I'll go and do the edit according to that particular, against that particular instance, right? So everything looks good to me. I'll go to launch. Now I'll create a new key pair. I don't want to use the earlier one, so I'll create a new key pair called my Windows key pair, and then I'll download this key pair. Here the key pair is very important. Earlier we used the key pair for logging into or SSH into our Linux instance, but here we will use this key pair to generate a password to our particular RDP file. We'll see in detail. So let me download this Windows key pair, or I'll change it to something else. My Windows KP. I'll download this. Okay. So I am downloading the PEM file of it, save it. Now I'll click on launch instances. So now the instances will be launched. When I click on this, I can see the instance is pending. It will run in some 2 minutes or 3 minutes. Let me refresh it. Okay. So once it is in running status, then we'll start and see how to connect it. Now it is in running status. Now to connect to any EC2 instance, what we do, we used to go into connect and see what are the options we have here. When I used to connect to an Ubuntu machine, I used to get different options like how to SSH into it, how to use what is the username and password, how it looks like, right? That way we got it. Ubuntu @ IP address is what the username which we have used for Ubuntu, and password we have used as key pair. Here it is a little bit different. I'll have to download a remote desktop file, RDP file. Let me download that. I'll save it on desktop, and then there is one option called password which is not generated yet. It will take at least 4 minutes to have this password generated, and for generating this password we need to have very important thing, which is the key pair. The key pair which we have used, that will be used to create a password or generate a password which will be like in a decrypted format. That will be used to connect to our RDP machine, which is nothing but Windows machine. Let me let me wait for 4 minutes, and then we'll see how to get the password. Let me click on get password and then see. Now it allows me to get the password. So I have to decrypt the password. For that I will have to select the key pair path which I have stored it in my desktop, right? I'll click that. You can see the key name is also given here for us for our reference. The same key file I have to upload. If I upload something else, it will not work. So I'll have to go for windows kp.pem. Now when I click on decrypt password, now the password is decrypted. I can copy this password and then close this. Now the file which we have generated, RDP file, I'll double click on it. It will ask to connect. Once I click on connect, now it will ask for the password. We have already copied the password from the previous step. Now I'll go to click OK. I'll click on yes here because we are connecting it for the first time. It is asking whether it is secure or not. So now you can see we are entering into a Windows machine. As an administrator, it will configure the Windows for us the similar way it is doing it for Ubuntu. But here we can see the Windows machine where you can do all the operations, whatever we have done. I can install some softwares here. I can start doing any operations on top of it. I can also create a web page here using a text file, right? Earlier we have seen like how we can create a web page out of it, right? I can create a text file here the same way which we are doing in Windows server. I'll create a text file called index.html, right? And then try to edit it, because in Notepad we can write all the HTML code. I'll edit it. I'll say HTML and then close the tags. I'll give body or head tag, the simple syntax of HTML. Okay, in the head tag I'll write it as my first page, my first web page. Then I'll go to body. In the body tag I'll give welcome to Windows machine. Windows machine. In Ubuntu you would have seen it was very easy creating a web page. We just echoed the value welcome to Ubuntu, and then we moved it to index.html file. It has created that file and it moved that value into it. Then because of Apache we were able to run that file and we were able to see it. Here we don't need those, right? Let me click on body. Now save it, close it, and then open it with, it's opening it. Let me open with, if I have a browser here, default I should have. I'll go to more apps. I'll open it with Internet Explorer. Now I click on OK. Okay, let me see how it looks like. It doesn't show properly, right? Why? Because we have saved it as .txt. Let me open it once again, save it as, I'll select all files here, okay, or new index.html. Okay, let me save it. Now you can see the file is saved in proper HTML file. You can also see E showing up here. I'll double click on this. Now you can see my first web page, welcome to Windows machine. Okay, so similar way you can create any web page here, and then you can see it how it looks like, right? So I can close this to disconnect my Windows machine and come out of it. Now we have seen how to log into a Windows machine using RDP, and the credentials are generated using our key pair, right? Let me refresh it and I'll terminate this to undo all the actions which I've done. So I'll undo this by going to instance state and terminate it. When I click on terminate, it asks me for confirmation. Once I give the confirmation, it terminates, and as the root volume is also having the checkbox that terminate the root volume once you terminate the machine, so that root volume also will be lost. That way we are undoing everything and we are good to go, right? So this is how we can create a Windows machine as well, not just Linux or Ubuntu. We hope the concepts are very clear to you guys. In case you have any questions, please drop a note in the comment section below. Thank you so much guys for watching. We'll meet in the next lecture. Thank you.